Good morning, good people. Today is Sunday, December 8th. We're in the second week of December already. Got to get those Christmas gifts ordered. December 8th, 2024. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning here in Pahrump, or Pahrump, you choose. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. This is Department of Career Services, G.school day. And we're at it again. Okay. Ever have one of those days where you felt, I'm just too tired to get up? I have that about once a year. And that was today. I was thinking, so I'm laying in bed, not wanting to get out of bed, really tired, asking myself the question, why am I so tired? Why am I so tarred and feathered? Well, and then I worked my way back. A lot of intense work hours, study hours yesterday, getting my annotated bibliography done to the stage where it's good enough for me to submit today, getting that done. Prepping me to continue working today on the booklet. So that was intense. And then we had some drama at the houses, which I'm happy to say the women there at the last minute rallied together at Pratt. They rallied together, got it done. Avoided a catastrophe. Watching The Lioness at 9, from 9 to 9:30, more like till almost 11. And then, of course, I had 2 beers at dinner on top of that. So I understood why. And how are things in Fort Jacks? What, not a bevy? As you're writing blessed, the greatest ever, I'm going to talk about today's meme. Today's meme is, what if they are right? That's a Seth Godin one. That's the title of his thing. But it's sort of like the title of the booklet. Booklet is What If? What if? Question mark. Cross. What if? And let's see what else we got. So we're going to get into Seth Godin. We're going to get into our Memo. Today's TED Talk is Amy Cuddy, body language. And when I say body language, you probably think of somebody else's body language to you, reading their body language, right? And, or you might be thinking of, what is your body language to them? What do I want to get them to feel? What do I want them to feel, right? But she's not talking about either of those body language. She's talking about the body language to yourself, your body language of how it affects you. So basically, the premise was, if you get big and stretch out, you will release certain neurochemicals and hormones in your body, like testosterone, that will make you feel proud, confident. If you shrink up, you will release more cortisol. And the releasing of the testosterone makes you feel better. Cholesterol, cortisol doesn't make you feel better. And so the effect of those neurotransmitters on our behavior. then affects the outcome of what's going on. So if you go into a job interview and you feel confident, you're going to do better than if you go into the job interview feeling having negative self-thought, having a lot of cortisol in your system. So, for example, she advocates before the job interview, before the stressful thing, go in the bathroom and just stretch for 2 minutes. Just get big. And I would say, think big thoughts. Feel confident. It's only life. It's only life. Okay, so that's, and this is or has been the #1 most popular TED Talk. Might not be now, but for many, 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 many years, it was the #1 most popular TED Talk. And could be hard to top it because there's so many TED Talks coming out now. There's a lot more people watching TED Talks, but there's a lot more TED Talks being produced every day. So it's kind of hard. It's like in the 80s or 70s, the most popular car was a Buick something, I don't know, Riviera, I don't know, was a very popular car because there were a lot fewer cars. Back in the 60s, a hit had huge numbers because there were very few songs. Now everybody has their favorite songs. So there's 1 million times more songs divided by, 1 billion more people. It's hard to overtake the stuff from the old days just because there was fewer choices. Anyway, Amy Cuddy, great TED Talk. This is part of our curriculum, being able to answer the questions, who am I and why do I behave the way I do? Well, I behave literally the way I do because of neurotransmitters and hormones in my system. And if I know how to release those neurotransmitters and hormones, then that will affect my performance. And my performance will affect the outcome. And then the outcome will tend to reinforce my beliefs. Cool. Who knew? It's that simple. Right. Okay. So let's get into the theme of the day, the themo of today. And let's see, what not a bevy? Are you still there? Over. So this is Seth Godin. What if they're right? We spend a lot of time in our own heads, certain that our path and our method makes sense. We often become more certain in the face of criticism or even suggestions. This confidence is essential as it allows us to lean into our project. Once in a while, though, it might help to model the alternative. What if they're right? How would that play out? If they're right, what could I do with that insight? If it's helpful, run with it. We can always go back to being right tomorrow. Correct. So, yeah, that's kind of a thing. We're designed, fortunately, that when we believe a thing, we believe the thing. And as Jordan Peterson says, the world shapes itself around that belief. So how do we attach this to G.school? Well, my project is targeted at or focused on people who are not believers, not Christians. But they're in jail, they're incarcerated, they're homeless, so they can see that their life is not working. So they're open to ideas, but they have different beliefs. They don't believe Jesus is the creator incarnate. So the goal is to get them to believe that Jesus is the creator incarnate. And then once they believe that, then they can be guided to a church to disciple them, bring them in, make them a member of the flock, and make their lives better, because that's the social function, or a social function, a practical function of churches, is to help build up the community. So the starting point with the non-Christians is, well, what if it's true? what if your belief is not correct? And there's no guilt, no fault, no value judgment. You came from a community, you came from a past where that was the belief that was instilled in you. You were in an environment where that was the belief, and it worked for you, and your brain grasped that belief, and it has now worked its way into your view of the world. The world has shaped itself around that thing. But what if your belief isn't true? What if? So that is the direction of the book. That's the title. What if the book isn't true? So then the thing would be, we're usually advised to find really smart people and learn from them instead of inventing it ourselves. And if you got somebody who's really smart and they have this belief, to think, well, maybe they thought about that belief in depth before they accepted it. For example, who's Elon Musk? One of the smartest and the wealthiest guy in the world. I think he's back to number one. And if he's not now, he will be at some point. So who's Elon Musk? Smart guy. Everybody says really smart, brilliant guy. When he was asked about God, he said that he believed in the God of Einstein. He believed in Einstein's God. He believed in this guy Spinoza's God. Einstein was asked the question, do you believe in God? And he said, I believe in Spinoza's God, which is a God that created the universe but does not intervene in the lives of people. Set that aside for a second. Let's just focus on, if Einstein had a belief and he said, I believe this is true, I've thought about it, should that be something we put some weight on? If Elon Musk said the same thing, could we just ride that pony? Could we just ride their pony of, they're smart, they figured it out, I don't need to figure it out, I just need to follow them. They set the path, I'm just on the path. That's very reasonable. That's called vertical learning. Learning from experts. They do the work, you pick up the ball, and you go with it. You get on their wagon train. You hitch your wagon to their horse. Okay, whatever. A lot of metaphors. So then we say, well, who was this Spinoza character? Well, he lived in the 1600s. His family was Portuguese, devout Jews. They had to move to Amsterdam because of religious persecution in Portugal. Those Catholics, well, I don't know that it was Catholics, it was Christians, because this is now in the 1600s. This is almost 100 years after the Protestant Reformation. Anyway, they had to move there, so he's in a community of very devout Jews, and he's also really, really smart. He's well educated, knows the Torah very well. But in his smartness and in science, which is now evolving, a lot of the Enlightenment, he finds problems with Judaism and eventually gets kicked out of his group, his temple. And he keeps pursuing what he believed based on science and came to the conclusion that yes, the universe was created, just didn't pop into existence. You can look around and you see evidence that this is not just random, that there's order to it, and that God is in all things. There is not a God of the Jews, say Judaism. And then he spent many, many years refining it down so it is a thing. And it's called pantheism. God is in all things. God is all things. Not God is in. God is all things. That was the path he went down. And for Einstein, it was, yeah, that makes sense. The universe was created, but there isn't a marionette, a puppeteer out there controlling everything that has this plan, and he's fighting with Satan. And that's not it. It doesn't make sense. He brought it into existence as part of himself or itself, the creator. The creator created the universe, and it is the universe, or the universe is it, not it is the universe. The universe is the creator. The creator is not the universe. So it pervades all things. God, nature, same. Deus sive natura. God or earth, if you please, or nature, if you please. God or nature. But what if Spinoza had been a Christian? What if he'd been a Christian and he believed that Jesus was the creator incarnate? What if that's the case? And I think what would happen is he would have gone to not God is all things, but God is in all things. And that's part of the teaching that Jesus said, right? The kingdom of heaven is in your midst. It is within you. Repent and believe in the good news. The kingdom of heaven is in your presence. It's in your midst. It's within you. So many times, many ways. And I and the Father are one, etc., etc. So what if Spinoza was a Christian? He went to pantheism. And what if Einstein followed that path? But it's the same, except God is not all things. God is in all things. He is a creator separate from the universe who all creations, God, the creator, is in all creations. It's not that the creator is all creations. It's in all creations. So the kingdom of heaven is within you. It emanates from within you. It doesn't come down this way. That's if we just follow what the creator incarnate said. So pantheism can shift to panentheism. And the thing, though, for the people is what if? What if, in this case, Spinoza was a Christian, was a devout Christian, really knew the Bible, and said, wait a second. If we just follow the teachings of Jesus, he lays it all out. Boom, kingdom of heaven is within you. God is spirit. If we follow his commandments, if we do what he said, we can be one with him. Cool. Okay, but it's now time. What, not a bevy? I got to get on the peloton because I got to leave at 7:20 for Flirch. Got to go at 7:20. So with that, we'll say, are you working today? Good. Shark love. Okay, shark love. Bonk, honk, shark love. Cut.